Alright fellas, welcome back to another first impressions video. So today, the fragrance that we're going to be talking about is one that just recently came out, not even a couple weeks ago, not even a full month old it's been, but nonetheless it's from the brand Paco, Rabanne. And the Phantom line really is one of those love it or hate it type of fragrance lines I've really noticed as far as the fragrance community is concerned. But nonetheless, I've talked about on my channel how a lot of these designer brands are starting to drop their Elixir fragrances. And so we got the newest one. This one we're going to be talking about is Paco Rabanne Phantom Elixir. So when we talk about Elixir fragrances, they're known for their sort of richer, high class, luxurious depth as far as a lot of these fragrances. I know definitely Azaro's, I think, dropping one. I know Bad Boy really has dropped two. The more recent ones, they dropped the Cobalt Elixir. They also dropped the Bad Boy Elixir. So nonetheless, that seems to be the trend as far as many of these designer brands are going. We got our hands on this most recent one, and we're going to see, will it be able to redeem the line as far as Paco Rabanne Phantom, because depending on which fragrance you're talking about, has been sort of, people either loved it or people thought that the line in large part has been relatively redundant. But I'm really excited for this fragrance. I really enjoy these Elixir fragrances. I love the richness to them. I love the fact that most of them are parfum concentrations. And so with that being said, all is left really is for us to get into our blind smell reaction, get into our first impressions, and we'll get it done. First thing we got to do is unbox and unwrap. Let's get it. Unwrapped. Got it unboxed. Whew. Just look at this bottle. I love this bottle design. This nice futuristic modern look, and you got the big bottle of this one. And I actually got it on the deal. I bought this from Macy's. So again, I got it, I think, when it was all said and done, just about $150. So I mean, again, for this size fragrance, you know, you really can't beat it. That's about what it'll go for, unless you can get it on. That's because most of these are going to be on, mostly you're going to have to buy them from full retail. They're not on discounters as of yet, but I'm sure that that'll be the case in a few months. So we'll be able to get this done for you guys and we'll be able to see it. But nonetheless, we'll get into the blind smell reaction. So we're going to get 1, 2, 3, nice atomizer. We're going to get 5 in the air. Let's get one more 6. Oof, okay. So just right off the bat, you're getting that fresh, aquatic, mineral, getting some metallic vibes in here, and then you're also getting that vanillic sweetness as well. So if you like that Paco Rabanne, that Phantom DNA, which is really what this one is giving, but you want it a little bit more fresh, a little bit more on that blue fragrance side, but then you also want some vanillic sweetness in here, I think this will go well for you. Definitely, our first impression, I actually am quite enjoying this. I definitely had getting in my head kind of the season and occasion that this one is going to fall under. It is keeping that same luxurious, that richness in here. I am getting that. So all in all, I'm really enjoying it just off first spray. Definitely one that I think I'm going to really like as we go further. All right, now we got the tester strip. So after letting it sit in there, we're going to do the tester strip test where we're going to get another, kind of impression off the opening, and then we're going to see how it is once it dries down. We'll be able to get a gauge for the mid. Then after that, we'll go through our skin test. So if we go 2, 3, 4 off this tester strip. Nice wide spraying atomizer, definitely. Just as it settles in the air again, it got this citrusy opening with it, the citrusy, fruity, but more so on the mineral side. So it's not that overly lemony kind of opening like a ginger, like you would get from like a Yves Saint Laurent wide. That's really kind of the king of the citrusy fragrances when I look at designers. This one is definitely more on that mineral, marine, aquatic, sort of like salty, like a beach fragrance, really, truly. But then you also get some, I'm getting vanilla in here too. So if you don't want it overly marine citrusy, you don't want it like that Dolce & Gabbana, the one light blue, you don't want it like that, but you do want those qualities just from a Paco Rabanne Phantom line. I definitely think you'll like this one. But nonetheless, we'll let it dry down some. So let's test it off the test strip. Nice, luxurious, definitely fresh. You're getting powdery quality as well. Definitely getting that mineral nature in here. So think like your Lenosa carbons, but not as spicy. Definitely less spicy, more fresh, more zest to this one. It's got woods. The woods I'm getting is like ouds. I'm getting like a oud, which is interesting because usually most of the woodiness in the designer fragrances you're getting is more leaning towards like cedar, vetiver, maybe even sandalwood. Now this is definitely that Middle Eastern oud, which is giving it that high class and luxury feel to it. That's really what I think is helping set this one apart. Nonetheless, I'm really enjoying it thus far. And it's still smooth. It's not overly loud. It's not overly in your face either. But definitely you could tell that they took their time. They added an extra level of parfum concentration as well. Definitely, this is a parfum, and it is an elixir. You can definitely tell this is an elixir fragrance, 100%. But nonetheless, we're 2 for 2. Definitely, I'm enjoying this one, and thus far, this has been a really good scent, really nice quality to it. All right, now after letting it sit down and after letting it kind of settle in, after kind of getting a gauge for it, letting it dry down even further, it's definitely getting some lavendery, sage type floral components in here as well, is what I'm gathering. Definitely a little bit of smokiness to this fragrance as well. You're getting a lot more of the powdery nature, but it's not like a powdery iris. It's not necessarily iris, I would say, but just something where you could tell it's got some powdery florals in here. Definitely almost like suede and cashmere, but not so silky smooth, I would say. And definitely this is a really nice warm fragrance, but not a warm gourmand spicy, more warm fresh, more like a spicy fresh, if that makes sense. But nonetheless, really high quality, high class. So now all that's left is we'll go off the skin, and then we'll get into the note breakdown. We'll look at the notes, see what we missed, and then after that we'll determine when this one is appropriate, who's gonna wear this, and where you're gonna wear it out to. Here we go. Just go 3 off the skin. Oof. As it settles in, as I'm spraying and getting a little bit more of gauge, first off, it's not overpowering either. I'm really enjoying that about this fragrance. It's not overly potent, but it's definitely got a nice sillage to it. I imagine this one's gonna have a really good scent trail. And it's kind of been cool outside here in the city. I think this one is definitely more of a cool weather fragrance. Cool to slightly cold, but you still want a nice fresh here. I think this one is kind of what this one's giving, but nonetheless, because this dry down is really interesting to me. You're definitely, it's still keeping those warm components, still getting that lavender, still getting that woody oud, but there's something else that's giving it an extra level of depth. Maybe amber, maybe some amber, some type of extra wood. There's nothing overly, it's not overly sweet, which is what I'm really enjoying, right? It's not giving me bubblegummy sweet. Is definitely giving a fresh, masculine, sexy fragrance with some aromatic qualities as something to kind of give it an extra level of character. But nonetheless, really nice first impression. Definitely kept the Paco Rabanne Phantom DNA, but I do think with this being an elixir, definitely improved it. I like this one a lot, and this one for an elixir, definitely they kept the futuristic robotic look. I like the bottle design, I like the scent quality, I like the fragrance, and I'm really glad that I got a big bottle of this. I do think I'm gonna put this one to use quite often nonetheless. So now we got through our initial smell test. Definitely the smell test checks out. We're 3 for 3. I am enjoying the scent quality, enjoying the fragrance. So now we're gonna determine based on what we've gotten, what did we miss as far as any type of notes from the description, and then also we'll get a gauge for when and where we're going to be wearing this out. After looking at the note breakdown, we were correct. I at least got some of the base notes in there. You're getting those C notes, you're getting that mineral, you're getting oud, you're getting vanilla. So we were correct on that. Now, that's as far as the scent description was when I looked it up. Again, this is a brand new fragrance. I'm sure more details will come out about the fragrance. Even when I was at the mall earlier today, that was what kind of the basic description of the fragrance was. But nonetheless, I always talk about how fragrance doesn't have to be overcomplicated, and you don't have to have a whole bunch of different fragrance notes to have a really good fragrance. So nonetheless, something really simple, really kind of put together, that one was really good for me. And the scent quality checks out, the scent profile checks out. I think this one is a really nice fragrance. Now, who and where are you gonna be wearing it out to? I think definitely this is gonna be another night out clubbing fragrance, but this is for those of us who want a clubbing fragrance for that cool weather, right? You don't want it necessarily for warm weather, and you don't even want it as your cold weather, but kind of, you know, your 40 to 60 degree outside, definitely nighttime with a nice breeze. I think this one, the sillage on this one will be killer whenever you wear it and you walk by people. Definitely they get away from you. I think this one will really do wonders. I think a guy in his mid-20s, I think really any age group could really pull this one off. But I think this one maybe a little too youthful, so maybe a guy 30 plus may not be his favorite fragrance. I think when you talk about is this one going to be a hit or a miss, I think this one's going to be definitely a hit. I do think this one is going to be really liked amongst the community. I think this one is going to be a dub. I really enjoy this, especially because as my fragrance personality has evolved, as me kind of collecting fragrances evolved, I noticed that a lot of people really kind of are gearing towards just the fresher side of the spectrum. Look at people, when you talk about compliment pulling fragrances, a lot of people, especially in the masses who really aren't collectors, they just enjoy something that is fresh, clean, put together, really simple, and I think this fragrance checks all those boxes really. So from the Phantom line, I think they tried to not overdo it. They tried not to make it overly sweet, but just wanted something simple, put together, and effective. And I think we pulled that off with this fragrance. So when we compare when we compare it to even the original, Phantom, the other two, the Le Parfum and the Parfum, I think this one definitely is the most refined, the most seductive to me, the most mature out of the Phantom line. Definitely, I do think this is a step up from all the other ones, even though I have all four. I have the original, now I have the Parfum, I have the Le Parfum. So I mean, the whole line, I still think this one takes the cake and is another dub. Nonetheless, I do think I stick by that maybe a guy in his late 20s to mid to late 20s would kind of be the age range for this one. I think younger guys would probably get the original flankers more so. I think just the more mature, put together nature of this fragrance definitely is for that guy who's a little bit older, a little bit more put together. Definitely not a guy who's in his 30s plus. I think this could still be a little too sweet, but I think you never know. I mean, everybody's fragrance personality is different. That's the beauty of this whole thick hobby, is that everyone really has their own personality. It's just a matter of finding things that fit you. So if you guys are out and about in the mall and you try it out, you see it, definitely give it a whiff and see if this one is a fragrance for you. But nonetheless, guys, that'll do it. So again, final verdict, definitely another dub. Scent quality, scent test passes, vibe check passes. I do think it'll have good longevity, good sillage, good lasting power, good scent quality, keeps the same DNA, but really kind of improves on it, which is all you could ask for, really. Nonetheless, guys, that'll do it for today. Another first impressions done and accounted for. Paco Rabanne Phantom Elixir out the way. Another great addition to the collection. That's what we're doing. We're just building it up. A lot of these Elixir fragrances are starting to come and starting to get dropped. I was just at the mall. A whole lot of these designer brands are dropping them, so you're gonna see a lot of those coming. If you just find my channel, thank you for stopping by. Just make sure to hit the subscribe and the follow button. Make sure to like the video so you get notified anytime I drop any fragrance content. To all the people who are returning, appreciate y'all. We're just building the community up. Comment down below any fragrances that I need to get my hands on this year. Any ones you want to see reviewed, and I'll get it done for you. But as always, guys, have a good day. We'll catch you on the next one. Much love.